Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, one and all, and blessed be. I am Francois T, and we are back with another Spiritual Moments chat. I'm very excited to be here for this one. Apologies for not being able to make it last night, but we are back tonight. Excuse me, and this is something that I'm hoping to do from now on, potentially once a week. So if you guys want to come back, then it'd be great to have you back. I know there are a couple of people in the room, and I want to say thank you for being here. I have some readings already, which is great, some requests, so I will be getting to them in order that I've been given them. But if you also would like a reading, please let me know. To receive a reading, I require your name, your date of birth, your star sign, and your request of whether it's a general reading, a reading about love, etc., etc. Now, unfortunately, tonight my co-host Sarah is unable to join us. She's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we're going to be sending out positive vibes to Sarah, and we hope you get well soon, and hopefully she'll be back to join us for our next Spiritual Moments chat. So I'm flying solo tonight, so hopefully you guys can forgive me for a few little things here and there. Readings can sometimes get a little bit overwhelming. And because of that, I may just need a few moments once I've completed a reading. If that does happen, if you could just give me about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I will come right back to you guys. But if you are in the room, say hi and I'll give you a shout out. I'll go over to the room first of all and say a quick hi to all of you, and then we'll get started into the readings. So let's see what is going on in the room. And just a moment. Okay, so we have Ellen in the room saying, I didn't think I could make the chat, but I can. Yay, yay, Ellen. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you. Tori is here. Hi, Tori. Thank you for being here. Lady Jazz has made it. She says, hey, hey, Lady Jazz. Sarah is joining us typing-wise this evening. She says, hi, guys. Joining you all in the chat today, just not hosting. Hi, Sarah. Thank you still for being here on the chat side typing with us today. I appreciate it. Annabelle Foster is here. Hi, Annabelle Foster. Thank you for joining me. Ellen says, sending love to you, Sarah. And Annabelle says to Sarah, hope you have a better day tomorrow. And Sarah says, thank you for the well wishes. You're very, very, very welcome. So once again, just to repeat, if you are new here, hello and welcome and lots of blessings to you. If you would like a psychic reading and you have not left me a request, I have 5 requests already, you guys, but if you have not left me a request, all I require is a first name, date of birth, star sign, and the request, whether it be a general reading, a love reading, or what have you. So guys, we're going to jump right into this because of the fact that we already have readings rearing to go. So let's jump right into it, shall we? And we're going to start off with our very first reading of the evening. And this is a request that has come to me from Jasmine. Good evening, Jasmine, or good morning or afternoon, depending on where you're from. But it's evening here in Australia, so I'm just going to say good evening because it makes sense to where I'm from. So good evening, Jasmine. 11th of the 9th, and Jasmine is a Virgo. And Virgo, ladies and gentlemen, is an earth sign. And Jasmine has asked for a past life reading. So now, when you say past life, I'm having a bit of an issue determining what you mean by that, but I'm going to assume that you're asking me what happened in your past life. I assume that is the case. I might give you just a moment to clarify if this is the case for me or not. Just clarify what you are asking for in your reading, because I don't want to misunderstand what it is that you're asking of me. So I'll give you that moment quickly to clarify what it is that you mean, considering that you are in the room. I do have that opportunity to ask you that. So I might wait for that answer to come through. While we're waiting for that answer, if there's anything else that you guys would like to say at all, feel free to leave it in the comments section and I will certainly address it as we go along this evening. Tonight in Australia, it is Sunday night, and one of the great things about doing a chat that goes from 11:30 till about at least 12:30, it may go longer, is that we end the week in Australia during our chat, and then we start the new week, or shall I say, going over to the first weekday of the week. So very exciting and a great way to end the week for me personally. All right. Well, I'm not as yet getting a response from Jasmine. So what I might do actually is give Jasmine some more time to respond, and I'll jump over to the next reading, and I'll do that first while I wait for Jasmine's answer to come through. And if I don't get an answer from Jasmine, then I'll go back and do it as I assumed. But I just wanted Jasmine to have that opportunity. So we'll move on to the second reading and then come back. Excuse me, guys, just a bit of a cough here. So the second reading tonight, reading request, comes to me from Ellen. Hi Ellen, good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is over there. Now Ellen is a Libra, and the Libra symbol is, the Libra element is the element of air. Ellen asks for love, family, friendship, or just a general reading. Thank you for that, Ellen. Let's see what is coming through for you on this fine Sunday, shall we? Just a moment. Okay, Ellen, while I'm doing this reading for you, the first thing that's coming up for me is this feeling of being blocked or constricted, potentially suffocating from something. Um, it's hard to tell what exactly it is, but I'm just getting this overwhelming sense like you're struggling to deal with something at the moment. And I'm not really understanding quite what it is, but it is rather overwhelming. So I'm getting the sense that it's been quite a tough year for you this year. And I want to say that I'm very sorry to hear that. Um, I'm feeling that you're questioning something. You've been through quite a bit, and quite a few different things have happened. But there's one thing that seems to be standing out for you, and I'm sure you know what it is that I'm referring to you. And it's gotten you quite stressed and quite choked up about it, and not really knowing exactly what to do with this problem at the moment. But I do want to let you know that it's going to start clearing up next month. About halfway through November, things are going to start clearing up and starting to look much better for you. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is the day of Saint Nick, Sinterklaas, coming up in December. And I want to tell you that certainly by Sinterklaas, things are going to start looking much, much better for you. I certainly want to advise you to go all out this year for when it comes to Christmas. Now, when I say going all out, I don't mean being materialistic and going out and spending lots of money to buy people lots of presents. I mean fully immerse yourself in the spirit that is the day of Sinterklaas and, of course, Christmas, the spirit of Christmas itself, whether you're religious or not. Um, to me, Christmas is about spending time with family and just feeling a sense of joy and happiness to be around the holiday time of the year. So fully embrace that when it comes around. You deserve to be happy, and this is going to be a very happy moment for you in for something that's been a long time coming. As I say, you are certainly struggling with this at the moment. Now, I'm seeing a woman with long blonde hair coming through at the moment, and she wants She wants me to address the current relationship that you have. Now, this relationship could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be a blood relationship. So I'm not getting a real sense of what kind of relationship it is. I'm being shown a ring, but I don't think it's a ring in contemplation of marriage or a commitment ceremony. So I'm being shown a ring in general. Right. Okay, so I'm being told that okay, yeah, okay. Now I'm understanding what I mean. So when I'm being shown an image of a ring, it's actually not referring to jewelry. It's referring to rings that you'll see on a tree. When you cut a tree, it's referring to age. And what it's telling me is that age-old proverb: with age comes wisdom. There are older people in your life that are surrounded you that are trying to give you advice that you're not either not necessarily listening to or taking on board. But I'm being told to take on what these people are saying. It could be because they've been in this situation before. And so they know what to do, or because they're just looking out for you and you feel like maybe you can't turn to them, maybe you're not quite at the level that they're at, so you're not quite understanding what they're saying, but try and take the time to talk to them and listen to what they have to say and heed their advice. Now, I don't know particularly who this blonde person is, this blonde woman. She may be living, she may have passed on, but she's definitely coming through to me in a very strong way, telling me that someone, or possibly more than one person of an older generation in your family that is living, that is around you, is trying to give you advice that you're not accepting, and you need to accept this advice because this person has dealt with this situation before or something similar to this situation before, and they will certainly be able to help you with this. Okay, it's gone black, Ellen. And so what that means, sometimes situations go black when I'm giving a reading before I feel like I've finished getting out everything that I need to get out. But sometimes I feel what this means is that this is a very important message that cannot be ignored. And so because of that, sometimes there's value in receiving one thing that we take to heart rather than getting, say, 10 different messages. So hopefully this has helped you, Ellen. This is certainly what I'm getting coming through to me. And, you know, hopefully this will help you out. But please know, by all means, your future is looking very good. It's looking to be stress-free, and certainly get within the spirit of Christmas. And certainly by the time you get to Sinterklaas Day in December, things are going to be looking on the up and up for you. So I hope that that helps you, Ellen. Yes, and very much blessings to you as well. There you go. Okay. Yeah, if you'd like to, so if you are receiving any sort of reading tonight and you'd like to give me feedback, whether publicly in the chat or privately through Facebook or some other mean, I'd love for you to do that. Of course, you're under no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to, I'd love to hear what it is that you have to say. Okay, I'm just going to take a moment to refresh. I'll be right back with you. I'm going to leave you with some cooling sounds of music. One moment. Okay, thank you very, very much for your patience there. Just needed a moment to center myself, but I am back with you all now. Let's take a moment to go over to the room and see if there are any comments or questions or anything, and then we'll come back to the next reading. Okay, so what do we have going on here? Whoa, we've got a lot of comments. Wow. Okay, where are we? Sarah says, thank you for all the well wishes tomorrow. Sorry, for the well wishes tomorrow. I'm reading two different comments. Thank you for all the well wishes, Francois. You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you, lovelies, to everyone else. Annabelle Foster has requested a reading. No problems. I will certainly do a reading for you, Annabelle, if you can wait with us. I've got a few more to get to. If for some reason you're unable to wait, then you can certainly watch in the delayed version, but I will certainly place you after I had done the ones that I had already requested, but I will definitely get to it. Sarah says, if Jasmine doesn't get back to you, move on to the next reading and we can get to his next. Yeah, two great minds think alike, Sarah, for sure. Sarah says, Jasmine's having issues with commenting, but she did clarify an actual past life reading, as in a life before this one. Fantastic. Well, I'll get to that in just a moment. Thank you, Jasmine, for the clarification. I'm sorry that you are having technical issues there, but thank you for clarifying. Tori says, please do one for Samantha. Will do. I'll add her to the list as well, Tori. No problems. Everyone that wants a reading may have a reading this evening. I only do one reading per chat, but certainly I can do that. Lady Jasmine's found her way back. She says, can you read the comment? Absolutely, I can, Jasmine. Lots of love being passed around. Tori says, hydrate, break time. I definitely am going to have a lot of hydration breaks, that's for sure, Tori, but thank you nonetheless. Ellen says, thank you very much. Christmas will always be a happy time for me. Oh, fantastic, Ellen. I'm so happy to hear it. Annabelle Foster asks how everyone is. How are we all doing this evening, or this evening Australian time anyway? I am actually doing quite well myself, feeling quite light at the moment, which is nice. Ellen says, some things you said were kind of true, just thinking about who is giving me advice from an older generation and what that advice is. Yeah, so definitely what I was having coming through to me was it was someone of an older generation, so whether that be potentially a parent or a grandparent, certainly someone of the older generation. So someone who's, so if you look at who's still around in your family, one of the eldest members of the family, what I like to refer to as an elder. So one of your elders in your family, one of the oldest people in the family, trying to give you some advice. So that's what that was referring to. Lady Jazz says, I love these chats. I'm so glad, Lady Jazz. Thank you. Sarah says, getting ready to move on Sunday. Annabelle, so surrounded by boxes, plus feeling unwell, of course. How are you? Oh, that's lovely. That the conversation is continuing in the chat. Not that you're not feeling well, Sarah. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully we'll have you at the next chat, but lots of blessings to you, and I hope you get better very soon. Evelyn says, the lady with blonde hair, if she's living, then I have an idea of who she is. She is a goldsmith and made a ring with a tree on it for me, which stands for deployment. I hope it's the right word. There you go. Well, let's just jump to the symbolism. So ring and tree definitely is what came up in the reading. So it's great to see that you were able to connect to it, Ellen. That's fantastic. A big hi to Jodie Vickers, who is joining us. She says, I'm back. Hi, Jodie. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Ellen, that is wonderful. That's made my day. All right, let's keep going, you guys, because we have a lot of readings, and I've also got some people that have some readings that they want me to do. So let's keep going with this, shall we? Okay, so the next reading is going to be for Jasmine. Thank you very much for clarifying that with me, Jasmine, that you did want a reading about one of your past lives. I find that very fascinating, certainly in the belief that I hold, which I'm not going to promote too much on here. This is about psychic readings, and that's sort of where this chat ends. But in my belief, we do have past lives, and so that is very interesting, and thank you for that request. So Jasmine, once again, 11th of the 9th, she is a Virgo, and a Virgo is an earth sign. And she's requesting a reading about one of her past lives. So let's see what we have here, Jasmine. Oh, that's beautiful. Jasmine, I need to explain to you what I'm seeing because this is just so beautiful at the moment. I'm seeing you in a sort of wilderness area. So if I say wilderness safari, it might give you some sort of an idea of what I'm seeing. So very open range, lots and lots of animals. And I'm seeing you out there, no fears at all. I don't know if you're exactly living with the animals or if you're working with the animals, but you're certainly walking among the animals. And they're all sort of like different animals that you expect to see on safari. Some of them are very sort of feral in nature, but some of them are not so much. But instead of going towards the cute animals that are all kind and sweet and docile, you're actually approaching the fierce animals and you're calming them down. It's really beautiful. It's really quite lovely. So I don't know if that makes you sort of some sort of an animal whisperer. I certainly wouldn't say a vet because I'm not seeing anything that's linking you to anything veterinary, but yeah, maybe as an animal whisperer. I'm hearing a lot of like ferocious noises, so like barking, like you would hear from sort of like, for example, from a dog, but a wild dog, or and growling. So growling like you might hear from a wolf, but also like roaring from lions and stuff like that. And I'd say rather than shying away from it, you're actually approaching these animals and they're coming down as soon as they're seeing you. And you're petting them and you're communing with them, and it's really beautiful. The sense I'm getting from you, as I say, is calmness. You're confident to walk around these animals. You don't fear for your life at all. And why should you? They may seem a bit feral to begin with, but once they see you, they're certainly calming down. But you feel this sense, or I feel this sense from you of fulfillment, just being with the animals. Seems to be doing quite a bit for you, which is really, really nice. And yeah, it's just, I wish you could see what I'm seeing because it's just such a beautiful scene. These ferocious animals becoming completely docile around you. You're being surrounded by all different animals from, wolves to giant cats like lions and tigers. And it's absolutely profound. Amazing. But you're very, very, very content. So I'm not seeing a lot of like possessions and in Western society, we certainly take a lot of um, we have this tall poppy syndrome, but sometimes, it's about the possessions that we have, the money that we make, those sorts of things. I'm not seeing that with you in this past life at all. You are feeling on top of the world, not by having money or power or possessions or couture clothing or anything like that. It's all about just being at one with the animals, and it's giving you inner peace and satisfaction. Oh, that was really beautiful, Jasmine. Um, I know for a fact that you do have a rather kind heart now, and I think that's certainly one of the things that you've taken from that past life. I do feel like we are able to take things from our past lives, and certainly I feel like the kind heart that you have shown in the face of these rabid, feral animals, and being able to calm them down is something you still have to this very day. And that is very powerful in and of itself, to have a kind heart, to be able to calm any sort of animal like this. Don't forget, depending upon how you look at the way the world goes, some people say that we are, descended from monkeys. So, we're animals as well as humans. I mean, we're human animals. So I think that's certainly something that's very powerful and something that you can continue to use in this life. But I hope that helps you. Certainly in a safari with the animals, and it was just such a beautiful image. So thank you for this opportunity to be able to see something like this, Jasmine, because that was quite profound. Thank you very, very much. How absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to take a moment and I'll be back right after this. Thank you very, very much, and welcome back. Let's go back over to the room and see if there are any more comments coming out at the moment. Whew. Still coming down from that last reading. That was very profound. Okay, let's see what we have. Whoa, got quite a few coming up. Where was I? Annabelle Foster says, Sarah, are you excited about moving? Very hectic, so good luck with it all. And yes, I hope you have a much better day soon. I'm not too bad. Found out something a bit bummy today, but generally good. I'm sorry to hear that, Annabelle Foster. Very sorry to hear that. Annabelle says about Ellen's reading that is so cool. Yeah, totally. Sarah says, Francois, you don't have to read the personal conversations, focus on the readings and reading related comments, darling. Okay, I might just do that. I might read one or two more and then get right back to it. So Ellen says, I'll send a picture of the ring in the Facebook post about the ring. Wonderful. Yeah, so all right, so Sarah, I'll leave you to deal with that chat side while you're in the room over there. If you would like a reading, just once again, I will repeat, what we require is your first name, your date of birth, your star sign, and the request, whether it be a general reading or something else. All right, let's move right into the next one, and then I'll just keep focusing on the rings that I have in front of me, and I'll go back to the chats and pick up what we have with what time we have left. So our next reading is for Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. I think this is my first time doing a reading for you. 22nd of the 7th, Pamela is a Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. It's a very beautiful goblet, isn't it? Very beautiful. I do love this thing. Actually, quite recently inherited this from my grandfather. I was quite honoured to inherit from my grandfather because I didn't know he had goblets like this. But anyway, that's enough about me. So Pamela is a Cancer water sign, and she would like a love reading. No problems at all, Pamela. I can certainly do that for you today. Let's see what's coming up for Pamela. So Pamela, I'm getting a few things that's actually coming to me in this reading, and it's quite a bit to take on. So I'm just going to tell you exactly what I'm getting, and then we'll try and make some sense of it. But the very first thing that I'm getting coming through to me is that you've been having some issues when it comes to love in the past. It's probably one of the reasons why you wanted to have the reading done. And when we're talking about love in this case, I'm specifically talking about romantic love rather than platonic love. I feel like there's a lot of platonic love around you. But there have been some issues in the past with romantic love. That's understandable. That happens to all of us. The second thing I'm getting is, do you know the song The Sound of Music from the film The Sound of Music? I keep having that playing over and over in my head. This very start of the film and the very start of the song where you hear the birds tweeting and you get the start of that music. I'm getting that coming to me. And what that's telling me is that I'm going to go from one movie to another to sort of quote from the film Annie, the sun will come out tomorrow. What it's telling me is don't give up on hope with this when it comes to love, because love is out there and is going to come for you. Now, a lot of people talk about soulmates and how there is like one perfect soulmate for everyone. I don't know if I necessarily believe that there's one perfect person, and if we don't find that perfect person, then poof, they're gone and, you know, there's no one else out there. I think that, you know, there are perfect people for everyone, and there's not just one person. There are many great loves out there, many great loves that we have either had or that are coming for us, or both. And I'm certainly seeing that this is going to come into your life, Pamela. Now, I'm not getting an exact sign as to when this is going to happen at the moment. Sorry, just a moment. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. As they say in life, ask and you shall receive. And just as I said, I wasn't getting any sort of anything coming to me as far as when this is going to happen. I suddenly did get something coming to me right away. You're going to be finding love in spring. Now, I don't know when spring is for you, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm definitely getting spring. You are going to find love in spring, and it's going to be rather beautiful. Wow. I'm also seeing, and you're going to find this really potentially odd for me to say, but both of you are like, you know how families will get animals? So like, you know, some families will get a dog and make it part of the family, and some families will get a cat and make it part of the family. You and this person that's going to come into your life are actually going to buy a bird together. Like I can see it right now. It's a bird. It's in a white cage, and the cage is very pretty. And it's kept outside, but it's kept outside, but it's under a shelter, so it can't get, you know, like rained on or anything. But it's very, very beautiful. And it's a very colourful bird as well. Kind of liken it to a rosella, actually. I don't know if you've had experiences with rosellas before, but certainly feel free to look them up. They're very colourful birds. Um, it's very beautiful. There you go. Wow. So definitely love is going to come your way in spring, and definitely, yeah, a bird. You're going to have a bird together. Isn't that something? Wow, that's quite amazing. But the key to all of this, Pamela, is to not give up. It is so easy to get knocked down over and 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 over until the word over just doesn't even sound like a word anymore. That's how many times it happens. And then to suddenly say, you know what, I'm done, I'm just giving up, and I'm going to completely cut myself off from this opportunity. But you know what? The angels, the spirits, you know, call it what you will. I certainly call it the spirits myself. The spirits can sense when you're closing yourself off from love. So when that does happen, when you're not open for love, you're not open to allow love to come into your life, you know, and you're not allowing the spirits to send love to your life. So certainly allow yourself to be open to those possibilities. You know, we're so focused on this current day and age with modern day technology and life being so busy that, especially when we leave the house, we will leave the house and focus on the one task or two or three that we need to do, and then we're going to go straight back home, and we're not going to let anything else come into our minds. We're going to be, say we're going to do some shopping. We're so focused on what we're going to get, and we want to be out of the store by this time, so we're just going to go in, do this, 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 and leave. What I'm getting is a sense that you need to go out and actually try and you know, visually see the world around you. Take some time, take a breath. Maybe, you know, if you're at a shopping center, take a seat and take in things that are going on around you. I think this is good general advice for anyone anyway. We are so caught up in our phones that even when we're sitting down, we're looking at our phones and we're not looking at the world that is going on around us. So certainly, you know, keep that in mind to be open to the general public, to the world that's going on around you, and to be open to love. I definitely think it is going to happen. All signs point to it happening in spring. Don't forget that rosella, or the bird that looks very similar to a rosella anyway. But I hope that helps, Pamela, and let me know how you get on and what you thought of the reading. But thank you very, very much for that. Wow, there you go. Isn't that lovely? Oh, wonderful, guys. All right, I'm going to try and take a breath and move on to the next reading. Don't forget that if you are in the room, certainly feel free to leave comments there. Unfortunately, our co-host Sarah couldn't join us today because she is under the weather, but she is in the chat room talking away with you guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sarah. Much love and many blessings. If you would like a reading this evening, or this morning, now it's 10:12. If you would like a reading this morning, then please leave your name, your date of birth, your star sign, and your request. All right, let's move on to the next reading, shall we? Now, this next reading comes from Sarah. Sarah's date of birth is the 3rd of the 10th. She is a Libran, and Librans are an air sign. Oh, we've got a few air signs there. Actually, quite frankly, we've got a few Libras going on, so that's quite interesting, isn't it? And Sarah would like a general reading. So there we go. Certainly, Sarah, I will see what I can do for you on this fine evening. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Sarah, the first thing that I'm getting is a lot of stress. Quite a lot of stress. And you know the story, or if you've seen the film, everyone I'm sure here knows the story of Cinderella, and how, you know, the fairy godmother, you know, gave her the beautiful dress and the beautiful, turned the pumpkin into a carriage and got her to the ball, and it was quite lovely. And then suddenly it turned midnight, and everything just went to hell in a handbasket. I keep hearing chimes from an old-fashioned clock, and coupled with that stress, it sort of takes me back to that story of panic. I didn't get everything done on time, and it needs to be done now, and if I don't get it done now, then I'm going to miss out on this, 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 and this, and everything's just going to go to hell. But there is a calming presence that's trying to come through to you. I can definitely say this to someone who has crossed over. I can't tell you what relation this person is to you, but I can tell you this is someone that has passed over. Now, in life, you knew this person. She's a woman. She has long brown curly hair. It's relatively long. It's certainly longer than shoulder length. And okay, that makes sense. All right, so you saw her as a calming presence in your life before she passed on, a very calming presence. And from what I'm hearing from from what I'm hearing from this spirit, your life and all the stresses that came into your life, they started happening not long after this person departed. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, I'm trying to understand what's being said here, so I do apologize, guys. Um, Richard, Richard, Richard. Okay, there is a Richard connected to you. This spirit that has passed on has a very calming presence. Wow, I'm not surprised if things started getting stressful for you after this person left, because this person is very calming, very breathily spoken. They keep repeating the same thing. Sarah, find Richard. Sarah, find Richard. So I don't know who Richard is. Um, so I'm hoping you can make some sort of a connection to who Richard is, whether he is a member of the family. He might be a human, he may be an animal. I honestly don't know. He might be a family friend, he may be a friend of yours. I honestly don't know who Richard is. I was getting a bit confused whether or not the spirit was saying Richard or rigid. So if you know of a friend or an animal who had a nickname of Rigid, it might be that, but I think it's Richard, and you need to find Richard. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I know what a ball is. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. I was just confused. Okay. Sarah, find Richard. He knows what to do with the ball. Um, and I found that a little bit strange, so I was questioning it. But the spirit is really funny as well as calming. They were like grabbing the ball like a basketball and being sarcastic. They're going, yeah, ball like basketball. So ball. So find Richard, who'll know what to do with the ball. I hope you know what this means. And the spirit is fading away now. Okay. All right, Sarah. So I hope that helps you. Certainly was feeling a lot of stress at the beginning of this reading, and then this spirit came through, and I felt very calm the moment the spirit came in. I hope you can make a connection to Richard, and he'll know what to do with the ball, what the ball means. It could mean absolutely anything to you. I hope you know what it means. If you don't right away, sit with it and see what comes to you. But this person or this spirit was filled with quite a lot of love as well. Um, And I know that you know that the angels and the spirits and call it what you will are around you. And this person is constantly around you, trying to help you. But that's certainly the clear message that they were trying to give me this evening was to seek out Richard. So I really hope that Richard means something to you, because this was a message that had to come through. So Richard will know what to do with the ball. Good luck, Sarah. I hope that helps you. Oh, goodness me. Um, all right. Now, don't forget, I'm happy to do readings for anyone in any chat. I only do one reading per chat per person per chat. Sorry, not one reading per chat, but one per person per chat. So if you would like to do more than one reading, then you can certainly request a reading for the next chat. I wouldn't advise that you do it here, but come along to the next one, and you can have another one there if you would like. But if you haven't had a reading done and you would like to request one, certainly let me know. I'm going to be taking note of those requests very, very soon. But I'm going to read out now my last request that came to me prior to this chat. So this next reading is for Victoria. Good evening, Victoria. Victoria is 22nd of the 10th. She is another Libra. So once again, we have another Libran and we have another air sign. So there we go. Certainly getting the love from the Librans tonight. Thank you, Librans. Okay. Victoria would like to have a general reading. Okay, Victoria, I can certainly do that for you. Certainly. Oh my gosh. Okay, now this is something's happening right now that's very rare for me when I do readings. I'm being shown something, but rather than telling you everything I'm being shown, I'm actually being instructed on what to tell you. But I want to start off by premising it with this. What I'm seeing is a good thing. I'm not seeing something bad, at least not yet anyway. I'll delve a little deeper in just a moment, but on the surface, I'm definitely not seeing anything bad. But I can't tell you everything, and I'll explain to you why. I am seeing you being surprised with something. And it's quite beautiful, and you're absolutely going to love this surprise. But I'm being told I can only tell you that you are going to be surprised with something in a really good way. But I can't tell you obviously the details because it will spoil the surprise. Clearly, thank you. So yeah, so you're going to be surprised with something, and it's going to make you really, 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 really happy. Sorry, just a moment, Victoria, be right back with you. Okay. Unlike other times when I've done readings, I'm not seeing the spirit that's talking to me, but I'm certainly hearing the spirit that is talking to me. They're quite humorous. It sounds elderly. Sounds like an older woman, like maybe possibly a grandmother. I don't know, so I can't see them, but very humorous spirit. The spirit is telling me to tell you to follow the cobblestone road. It's going to lead you to victory, but you cannot find it without the leaf. Sorry, wait. Oh, leave, not leaf. Okay, right. Okay. You, okay, all right. I think I've got it now. Okay. Victoria, you are going to be surprised with. In saying that, that is separate to what I'm about to tell you now. There is no connection between that and this. This next part of your reading that is coming through to me from this person, this spirit who is talking to me quite humorously, is that you're going to need to take some leave. I don't know whether it's something as big as you're feeling very overwhelmed by something at the moment, or it's just that you haven't had time to yourself or time away in a very long time. So I'm being told that you need to take some leave. Now, whether that be from work, whether that be from home, you need to you need to take some leave. While you're on this leave, you're going to come across a cobblestone path, which that's very specific, but it is going to lead you to victory. Now, in this sense, I do feel like victory is a metaphor. I feel like what I'm being told here is that when you find the cobblestone path, things in your life are going to change that, or you're going to find out something that will really help you with your life. So when I hear victory, I don't think necessarily means that you are going to win something. What I'm seeing it as is it's actually going to help you in your life. So definitely being told that you need to take some leave. I'm being shown leaves now. This person is really funny. If this person is related to you, then you would have known them to be very, very humorous. Like really, really funny. Like they're still going on about it. I'm seeing leaves blowing about, and I'm hearing laughter, like because I got it wrong because I said leaf instead of leave. Oh goodness me. Okay. Okay. This spirit is calming down now and actually getting rather serious. Spirit is saying, I want you to tell Victoria that life is tough. Saying Victoria knows that I've had a very tough life. She's saying laughter is the key to success, and that's why I laughed a lot in my life, and that you should basically be doing the same as her. You should laugh a lot and take every opportunity you can to laugh. Oh, that's profound. The spirit just said because when you get older, you're not gonna think about anything else. You're gonna recall the funny things in life. So, like she's saying that specifically about you, Victoria, but I think it's a general statement that can be made to anyone is that we get so stressed about things that seem so important in here and now, and yet when we get older, none of that matters. We don't think about that. We don't think back on, oh my gosh, if we hadn't done this, this wouldn't have happened. Like we think back on the good times. And she's saying she's grateful for all the laughter she had because she had a lot of memories to look back on. So she's definitely saying the same to you to enjoy life and see the funny side of life. Oh, she's getting stern, but she's saying, but definitely go on leave. So enjoy life, find the humor in life, but definitely go on leave. As I say, I don't know if this is leave from your job. I'm certainly not standing here saying, quit if you have a job. I'm certainly, if you have a family, I'm not saying abandon your family. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm getting is that you need to go away. So maybe on a vacation or something, and this is going to change things for you. You're going to find that cobblestone path and find the victory during this leave, um, and to laugh, because that's all. Laughter's all that matters. She's leaving now. She's saying goodbye. Oh, she's a lovely character, isn't she? Like goodbye. And she's leaving now. She's gone. There you go. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, this is completely unorthodox. but I will do it anyway. I did a reading a moment ago for Sarah. Sarah, if you're listening, I have someone here named Michael. He's just come up randomly. He's saying, please tell Sarah that I love her, that she's a special person. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was a strong ending. First of all, Victoria, I want to apologize. This has come up during your reading, but this person just came through to me and I didn't want to push him away. Sarah, so this Michael was quite joyous in telling me to tell you how much love he has for you. But then he started getting really angry and he was full on throwing a tantrum. And he was saying that you've got to stop blaming yourself for every little thing. It's not your fault. When you blame yourself, you make him sad. And he was screaming like a proper kid throwing a tantrum. He was throwing blocks around and just yelling, "Yeah, she's got to stop blaming herself." So, yeah, Sarah, I don't know if if that connects with you, but that's what Michael is saying. You have to stop blaming yourself. You have to stop doing that now. Um, what he's showing to me is that any little thing that happens, you're taking it on as it being your fault one way or another. It's not your fault. So you've got to stop blaming yourself. It's not you. It's definitely not you. That's what I'm being told. And he's stormed off in a huff. But yeah, he definitely wanted to get that point across. And I'm glad that I let him come through. My goodness me. Okay. So I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to stay with you, but I'm just going to take a moment. Wow. Okay. Whew. All right. Victoria, I'm so sorry about that. And I'm going to see if there's anything else coming through for you. I don't know if there is going to be, but I'm going to see if there is. But like I said, I didn't want to stop that from happening. But I'm just going to see if there's anything left. Okay. I got some symbolism in that moment. I saw a horse, which led to a horseshoe, and the month of November. What that to me means, quite obviously to me, it means that you're going to be receiving some luck in November, some really good luck, I should emphasize, coming up in November. I don't know if that's connected to the surprise and to the leave, but certainly you are going to be receiving some luck next month. So I hope that all of that helps. It was a general reading that you're asking for this week, so I hope that that helps you in one way or another. And yeah, if ever you'd like to give me some feedback, I'd really appreciate that. Of course, you don't have to. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If anyone would like to give me feedback on what they thought or if they connected to anything, I would really appreciate it. You guys have done so in the past, and it's been quite amazing to hear what you had to say. And you've also started doing so tonight as well, so I really appreciate that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play some more music in the background while I go back to the chat room and try and find all of the readings that you guys have requested since the chat has started. So if you're still with us, it is past 12:30, but if you can stay with us, then all the reading requests that I can see in the room will be addressed after this short interlude. So stick around, lots of love and blessings, and I'll be back with you momentarily. Blessed be. Isn't that beautiful music? I don't know if you guys can hear that clearly coming through your sound system, but I just love that music. It's so nice and calm. I might leave the link up to it when I publish the video later on, when I upload it, or whatever it's called. You know what I mean. All right, you guys. So it looks like I have quite a few more readings to go. So you guys are definitely coming on board. And by the time I get through this week's readings, we will have doubled last week. So that's saying something, because I thought we did quite a few last week. So that's awesome, you guys. Thank you so very much. I'm going to try and get to every single person. If for some reason I don't get to you, then we will have two options. But I just want to let you know this for the future. Then we'll have two options. One of which is that I can make a note of it and address it at the next Spiritual Moments chat. Or if you'd like, I can send you general notes of your reading post-chat privately. I can send you the details privately, but I'll leave that up to you if I don't get to your reading. But I'm going to try and get to as many as I can. Speaking of which, we have Annabelle. Next up, hello Annabelle, blessings. Good evening, or good morning, I should say. Good morning, Annabelle. 6th of July, she is a Cancer, and Cancer is a water symbol. And she wants to know what she should be focused on in the present moment, and also love life related things. Okay. Thank you, Annabelle. Let's see what's going on tonight. Okay. Once again, good morning, Annabelle. I'm receiving a few things here, so I'll get through as much as I can. There's a lot coming through for you, Annabelle. I may not be able to get through it all, but I'm certainly going to get through as much as I can. The first thing that I'm having come through to me is the moon itself. And I'm also getting a sense that you need to be focusing a little more on your spiritual side. Now, let me make a clarification about what I mean when I say your spiritual side. I don't necessarily mean that, if you are for example, a Christian, that you need to go and read a Bible, or if you are a Wiccan, that you need to go and do a spell. What I mean as far as your spiritual side is just focusing on yourself and connecting, just connecting with you and who you are, and just connecting with that. As I've said many times tonight, modern day technology has taken over a lot of things, and whilst we are still who we are, and our souls and our minds and our hearts, motivate us to do all these things, technology gets in the way of that, whether it's a song we hear that inspires us to go one way, whether it's social media telling us what's in one day and what's out the next, or whatever. So what I'm being told to me more specifically is to take time for yourself without technology. So turning off computers, turning off phones. I don't know if you'd like to meditate, I'll leave that up to you, but if you do enjoy meditating, or you know how to, maybe undertaking some slight meditation. If meditation is not your thing, maybe just sitting there calmly, doing something that doesn't involve technology at all. If you're doing this at night time, then without electricity, switch off the lights, and sit in a dark room. Maybe open a window if that's okay to do so, but just letting go of everything else. So no technology, no electricity, just being at one with yourself and focusing on your spiritual side, your inner self, your inner peace. And because it's something that people definitely need to focus on. I've seen that within myself as well, that I can get run over by these things like technology, electricity, hectic things that's going on in their lives, for sure. That's definitely something you need to focus on. I'm being directed towards the moon for two reasons. One of these reasons are that I do feel that you can do your best spiritual focus, however you define that to be, at night. So the moon is partially, only partially though, but partially representing that it's going to be best for you to do at night rather than during the day. I'm getting a sense that there's a lot of things that can be interrupting you during the day, whether it be work, family, your phone, whatever. Certainly nighttime, I'm being told, is the best time to take advantage of that. But the second reason that I'm being shown the moon is because the moon has a lot of feminine energy, and to me what it's representing in this instance is feminine power. And certainly that you do have a lot of inner strength and inner power within yourself. And I'm sure you've seen that with things that you've done, whether it be through work or study or anything like that, the inner strength that you do have. But also using that inner strength to create that time for yourself, to be disciplined enough to say, right, electricity off, technology off. I am just going to be at one with myself. Even if it's for 5-10 minutes, I'm just going to take a moment to be completely with myself, at one with myself. So that's the first thing that's coming through to me. Okay, so I'm also being told that one of your other distractions, aside from technology and, of course, electricity in many different forms, is people. Whether it be loved ones, whether it be a relationship, whether it be friends, acquaintances, whatever it is, people seem to be dumping problems on you, and they could range from something quite minor to something very heavy. And so even if you do try to take time for yourself, that time allotted for yourself is filled up with others. And so what I'm being told is sometimes, and I know this is not easy to do, but I'm being told that sometimes it's okay to say, let them have their problems. This time is for me. And once again, like, I can't impress upon you enough that time for you is literally just you being with yourself, and not time for you being, let's watch a show, let's play a game, let's write something. It needs to just literally be you, and nothing else. I might say you could read if you like to read. Reading's totally fine because you don't necessarily need electricity to read. But yeah, nothing that involves electricity at all should come into that space and have that protected space. Even if it means turning off your phone for about 10 minutes. We used to do that back in the day, remember? We used to turn our phones off. Turn off your phone for maybe about 10 minutes, just have that time to yourself. Okay, Annabelle, I'm also being told that the first week of November, so my goodness, this is coming up really soon, needs to be looked upon for you as take a chance week. If something comes up, you need to take that chance. So it could be anything that you might normally say, no, I'm not going to take that risk. Now is the time to take risks for you. So please don't anyone else interpret this as being for them. This is for Annabelle. Annabelle, now is the time for you to take risks. Take big, big, big risks. I'm now going to ask if there is anyone that would like to come through for Annabelle. Annabelle, there's a lot of love for you. It's very overwhelming. Um, and it seemed for a moment then that everyone was going to talk at once, and because there's like this massive sea of people when I said, does anyone want to talk to Annabelle? But suddenly the sea parted, and through the sea came a dog. And the dog was like happily barking, you know, that happy barking noise. And everyone was just being quiet and letting the dog speak, if you will, if you know what I mean. Um, I can't literally translate in words what the dog is saying, but the dog is very happy. So I don't know if you had a dog that you loved very much that has passed away, or if this dog means something to you. Um, maybe it was the family's dog, maybe it was your dog, maybe there was someone, a friend of yours that had a dog that you're very attached to, you've recently lost, but there's a dog coming through for you, which is very, very, very powerful when animals come through in spirit form. There's also certainly a lot of people that are coming through. There's a lot of love for you out there, Annabelle, for sure. So I do have to say that. As far as love out in the world, the main bit of advice that I'm being given is, and please don't take this harshly, but this is something that I feel that everyone needs to learn, and that is, if you can't have love for yourself, how can you expect to have love for others? Basically, this is connecting to going back to what I was saying earlier, and I think, you know, how I was saying that sometimes there's like one main message that needs to get across. I definitely think for you it's about taking the me time without electricity, and that's where the love, the electricity and technology, I think that's where the love is going to come in. If you can have that time for you and just be with yourself, then that will create love for you. And then if you can have that love for yourself, then you open up those doors for love with others, whether it be platonic or relationships, or platonic or romantic. Certainly having that love for yourself will open those doors. And that's what I'm being told. As I said, I'm seeing a sea of people that are here. There's so much love for you, and they're all just nodding in unison, going, yes, 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 yes. So definitely take that time. And yeah, if you could, if you're happy to, I would love for you to follow up with me and let me know how that works out for you. Take risks this week, coming into this week, and take time for yourself away from technology and electricity. I would love to hear how it goes for you, Annabelle. Thank you very much for your request, and yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's keep moving, because otherwise I'm going to be here all night. Next up, we have Samantha. Now, Samantha is a Leo, and she would like a general reading, which is lovely. Leo is a fire sign. Is this candle going to burn me? Probably. Ugh. Oh no, it's not quite. Okay. Leo is a fire sign. Ooh. Need like a general reading. So, okay. I'm getting a couple of different things, but I think they're all starting to come together and make sense to me now. So the first thing I was getting was this, like, sort of like flash movements. So I was just going zoom, 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 zoom. I was trying to work out what the heck it was. Hang on, what's going on? And then I kept hearing the noise, and I was being zipped from one place to another, from one place to another, from one place to another. And then I was transported to a tennis court, and I was seeing a rally play out between two different tennis players, not knowing who the heck they were, but it didn't matter. The point was the ball going from one end of the court to the end, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This can mean quite a few things. First of all, it can mean that you're fighting a battle, potentially against yourself or potentially against someone else. This can either be well, it would be physically draining, but I mean that this is either something that you are physically fighting, or this, like, as in you could be, like, someone could be physically harming you, or you could be physically harming each other, but I'm not getting a clear sense if that's it, or it could be a verbal thing that's going on. I'm thinking that's more likely that it's a verbal thing, but it's a constant. It's one of those scenarios that's coming a little bit more clearly to me now. One of those, forgive me for saying this, Samantha, and I hope you know what I'm saying here, because I don't mean any disrespect to you when I say this. One of those I'm not good enough situations, like where you'll try to do something and then, you know, for someone, whether it is to prove that you are who you're saying you are, or just whether you're doing something for someone, and they will either thank you or acknowledge you, but then there's always something they come back with you and back at you to say, if only you had done this. And it's this sense that you're fighting this battle of constantly trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and every time, like, I don't know if you follow tennis or not, but it's certainly the symbology that I'm getting right now. It's like every time you're hitting the ball over the net, in this case, you're trying to attempt to do something for someone, whether it is actually doing something for them or doing something to prove something to them, you're hitting the ball over the net, but it's coming right back at you. And you're being challenged again. And this is not a good thing. What I'm seeing is that it is draining you. You're really, really trying, and it's just not getting you anywhere. In fact, it's and you're continuing to fight. You're staying in that rally. You really are. But what I'm seeing, and like the last thing that I saw, is an image of a silhouetted person. So I'm assuming it's meant to be representing you, sort of flying into a wall and smashing into a wall. And that's the problem that we have sometimes when we constantly try and do things for people to either impress them or just to do it for them, and we're not getting it right, and we're continuing to try and try and try and try, and we're always being told that it's not right or there's something else left to do. And this is what I'm being advised. Take a step back. Take a step back. It is more than okay to say no. It is more than okay to drop the expectations that you have, whether it is to go to the extreme of literally walking away. So if you say you're doing this for a friend, and you might decide, I'm done, like I'm done with this friendship, or whether it's something as small as you have a task to do within 24 hours, but you decide you'll give yourself 72 so that you can take a couple of days to breathe first. You need to decide what it is that you're going to do. But what I'm being told is that your battery, that life spiritual battery, is running on empty, and you need to breathe. Now, unlike what I was saying before to Annabelle, I'm not being told that you need to completely get away from technology or electricity and just be completely on your own. What I'm being told is you need freedom from obligation. So if that means going out with a friend to the movies, going out with someone to dinner, watching a show with someone, even if you're on your own, playing a game, whatever, doing something fun. And, you know, there's an age-old saying for people who don't have that high income, and that is, nothing fun comes for free. I always retort saying that's not true. Fun comes down to your own personal imagination. You can make life fun without spending any money. So What I'm being told in your general reading today, Samantha, is that you need to have more fun, because it seems like you are putting others first, and it's not coming to any avail at the moment. And the more that your spiritual energy battery drains, the worse it is going to be for you. So I understand that you want to keep impressing and helping these people. I totally get that, don't get me wrong. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's a bad thing, but I am saying that just like a phone, you know, like your mobile or whatever, you know, anything that has a battery, if you don't charge it, it will die. So you need to do that for yourself. So translate that into your own way, that what you think you need to do. But it's almost like you have to put yourself onto the recharge battery, and let yourself recharge. Definitely do that, because otherwise it's not going to end well. So take a moment, and recharge there, Samantha. I'd love to hear how you go this week with recharging. Certainly come back and let me know, because it will be interesting to see how your week goes this week, if you are able to do some things for yourself and personally you are able to recharge. Because if you can get that energy back up to 100%, or even if you can get it back up to 80 or 90, you're going to find a huge difference in the way you go about doing things and the way that you are with people anyway, regardless of whether they come back at you with a challenge or not. You're going to find that it's just going to be so much easier to deal with. So as I say, I don't know if it's with a friend, it's with someone you're related to. It could be something that's happening at work. I don't know. But definitely that is what you need to do. So good luck, Samantha. I hope that helps. Yeah. This candle before I burn myself. Okay, so thank you for that, Samantha. I hope that helps. Certainly let me know how you go. I'm quite interested to know. Okay, next up, we're actually going to take a very quick break, actually. I'm going to need a quick break, you guys. I will be back. We are not done yet. Don't go away. We'll be back right after these little bits of music. Don't go away. I almost regret turning muting that music. It's just so nice and peaceful, isn't it? All right, you guys, before I go on, I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has requested a reading. This has been incredible. I thought that Wednesday was amazing. Tonight, we have doubled that, and the requests are still coming. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to be doing 2 more readings tonight, and then I'm going to have to stop. So, this is what I'm going to say. If you would like me to do a reading, between now and the next chat and send that to you, send the result to you in a private message, then please leave your details in the chat and I will certainly get back to you. And if you have me on Facebook, you can certainly request it to me through a private message and that's totally fine. If you would prefer that I do your reading in the chat, then please save your reading and bring it to me at the next chat. Now, we will always start, I would say, no later than 11:30 p.m. But if you guys would like for me to start earlier, for the next Spiritual Moments chats, we can do that so that we can get through more. But I think we've done very, very well so far. What I'm going to do is to jump into the room, read some of the comments just quickly because I just want to see what you guys are saying. Then I will read my last two, do my last 2 readings for tonight, which is just absolutely incredible. Because how many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will have done 9 by the time we are done, which is absolutely incredible, you guys. Seriously, thank you very much. Big blessings back to you for that. I very much appreciate it. All right, let's go over to the room and say hello to you all and just have a little bit of a chat while we can. Jody says, can you do a reading for me, please? Yes, Jody, I am going to be doing a reading for you. As a matter of fact, your reading is next. So your reading will be done tonight. Sarah says, Annabelle, it's exciting, but a lot of work and stress to get everything ready. Yeah. I'll let Sarah and Annabelle have the discussion. Tori telling Jody what to leave. Thank you, Tori. And thank you, Sarah. Lady, oh, I don't know if that was a sign, but I just tapped this. Oh, it's rather interesting. I did not do that on purpose. Lady Jazz says, I have a lot of dreams about goddesses in the wilderness and being in the divine and some sort of great power. I think this is an extension, of that. Very much so, Lady Jazz. Your reading was very vivid to me, seeing you out there in the wilderness with all the animals. It was, wow, it was very vivid. There are times that I do readings and they're very confronting. There are other times when I do readings and I literally want to jump in to the world of the reading, and I wanted to jump into that world and be with your past self. Like when I say be, I mean like be around your past self. It was very, very powerful. But thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. As with goddess Artemis. There you go, Tori. Good one. Oh, Alofa, I don't know why that is the case. I certainly have not done that for sure. I wouldn't have. So I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully we'll find a way to fix that. I'm so sorry that that's happening to you at the moment. Stick around with me, Alofa, because yours will be the last reading that I do this evening. So please stick with me and I will get to that momentarily. Oh, Lady Jazz is crying. Oh, thank you, Lady Jazz. Blessings to you. YouTube certainly can mess up, guys. So, like, do check if you are still subscribed. Like, honestly, I see people all the time that I know have been on my channel since PLL, and then suddenly it will say they subscribed a week ago. And when I ask them what happens, they say YouTube unsubscribed them. So just, yeah, make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel and that you're clicking on the notifications. But yeah, I'm sorry to anyone that's happening to. I've got a lot of things here. So I might just read a couple select more. And then yeah, I might have to go into the reading. Ellen says, does the air, fire, or water, is there another element like earth? Yes, there is. Yep, earth, air, fire, water, yep. Say anything, say something about a person or affect something. Yes, it does. We are going to be doing a Wicca/Supernatural chat soon. We're meant to have one this week. I'm sorry we didn't. When we have that, I'm very happy to go into all that sort of detail. But yeah, they do. They symbolize things. So the star signs are attached to each element. So, for example, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo are earth signs, for example. And that does connect to certain things, yes. So I'm a Taurus myself, so I'm an earth sign. So if you're a Virgo or a Capricorn like me, you're an earth sign. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Certainly, if you'd like to do some research, there is a lot of information out there, but I will get onto that when we do our Wicca/Supernatural chat. Anything else? And I think I just blacked out there for a second. And some people include spirit, so earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Some people say. Yeah, and Lady Jazz is saying there is also spirit as a fifth element. Okay. So a lot of people are getting into the chats, which is really good. Lady Jazz says, Tori, who was the goddess you said in my past life? Remind you of again. I want to research it. Yeah, Artemis, the Greek goddess. Yep. Oh, Tori's listening to Samantha's reading, saying so far it's 100% accurate. There you go. Yeah, the one we just did, Samantha's reading. There you go. Hit the nail on the head for Samantha. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Tori, for that feedback. That is invaluable. All right, guys, we are getting on in time, so I'll move on to my second last reading for this evening, and this reading is being done for Jody. So Jody, thank you very much for requesting the reading, and thank you very much if you're still here for hanging around and waiting for your reading. We are going to get to that now. Jody, 11th of the 2nd, Aquarius, future love or past life. Okay, so first of all, Aquarius is an air sign. Now, you may be wondering what's going on here and why I'm picking up all these objects. And so different psychics will use different things to channel where they're getting their channel picking up the energy and the messages from the spirit world. Some people will scribble and write on paper because it helps them to focus. Some people use tarot cards. The list goes on and on. For me, I like holding objects. So for me, this is a bracelet. And this bracelet, to me, I assign this to the sign of air. There's a reason for that I won't go into, but definitely this is the sign for air for me. You may have seen me hold this rock. This rock has very sentimental value to me, and it is my symbol for earth. The goblet, the symbol of water, and I won't hold it. It's my symbol for fire. So holding on to these objects helps to keep me focused and strengthens the bond within me and the spirit world. So if you're ever wondering why is Francois holding stuff when he's doing these rituals, now you know. Okay, so Jody, I just need to read this again. Future love or past life. All right, Jody. Let's see what we've got going on here. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay. So I have two people that are coming to talk to me at the moment for you. And the first person that walked through has quite long blonde hair, but it's tied back. So yeah, it's not as long. Looking on it, it's tied back. and she looks very confident within herself. You know, she's like very confident. Like, I know what I'm here for, and you know, the sort of person that you would imagine if someone walks into a room, everyone will stop and pay attention just because of the fact they've walked in the room. That's this woman. Standing next to this woman is a guy who, admittedly, is very attractive, and he seems like the type of person who didn't really talk a lot when he was alive, but when he did, it mattered. So he only spoke when he absolutely had to, and when he did speak, it was valuable, whatever he was saying. But as I say, he was very gifted in the looks department, so I can imagine he got a lot of attention. He just didn't speak a lot. I'm being told to acknowledge an Andy. Now, this could be a first name or a middle name, or it could even be a pet name that's acknowledged to someone near you. To acknowledge an Andy. I'm also being told to acknowledge a Sasha. The woman is being really funny with me. Like, seriously, she's like, the man is standing there not saying much, but he's smiling. But the woman's going, "You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around." Like, she's just being really funny and laughing a lot and just having a lot of fun. I think she's really appreciating the fact that she can come through for you. I don't know if you've had a reading done before, Jodie, and you don't have to tell me if you have or not, but from what I'm getting from this woman, it's like, yay, I finally get to say something to you. She's really, really excited and overly energetic, and that's why she's dancing to the hokey pokey for some reason. But she's just really, really happy. She's a bundle of joy, and the man who's not saying much is just smiling at her like, you know, we're both really happy to be here right now to talk to you. So I'm just going to communicate back with her in just a moment. So guys, is there anything that you actually want to say? Okay, thank you. Okay, so the guy just said something, and I certainly wasn't wrong with what I was feeling earlier. Now that he is talking, it's definitely very important. He's telling me that he wants to thank you. He's acknowledging what I was saying, that he didn't talk a lot when he was alive, but he felt like you were there for him, and he wants you to know that he feels that. Like he felt you being there, and he's really appreciative of that, and he wants that to come through. He also wanted me to remind you of a sequence of numbers. I don't know if this means anything to you, and I'll say it as slowly as I can, but that's why I had to stop and like write it down before I forgot. I'll say it as slowly as I can, but I'm only going to say it once for the sake of time. You can always go back and re-listen to this reading if you'd like. But the sequence of numbers are 5, 5, 5, 7, 2, 1, 7, 6, 3. 5, 5, 5, 7, 2, 1, 7, 6, 3. I don't know what it means, but he was literally showing it to me going 5, 5, 5, 7, 2, 1, 7. Like he was literally showing me numbers. And it ended on 3. So I don't know what that means. If you know what it means, fantastic. If you don't know what it means, it could be a code to try and work out. And if it is, you know, good luck and tell me if you do work it out. Sometimes that can happen, that I'm sent a code from the spirit world. So I've had once before that I've been told a sequence of numbers that I didn't know what it meant. And I eventually worked out that it was code, and once I worked out what it meant a lot to me. So if it doesn't mean anything right off the bat to you, sit with it, maybe it will. You never know. So I'm just going to go back and see if the woman has anything to say, and then we'll wrap up your reading, Jody. So, so she's still laughing, and she's going, first of all, I just want to acknowledge Jody for being a really awesome person. But yeah, like she's so like happy, she's giddy. She's not laughing, she's like really giddy saying this to me. Okay. Okay. So she's telling me that sometimes you need to go to the darker places to see the light. Now I know what this means. I've heard this a few times. I've become more and more familiar with what is being, what they're trying to say when they say this. Sometimes, especially with people, if you look at a polarity scale, which I'm not really a fan of polarity scales, but for example, if we acknowledge the show Charmed and we look at the polarity scale, we see there's good and there's evil. It's black and white. So if we look at a polarity scale with colors, we can do the same with white and black, light and dark. So what this person is saying, the woman, she's saying to me that sometimes you need to go to the dark to get to the light. So basically what that means is sometimes light people, lighthearted, joyous, never really does anything considered to be wrong or bad or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you need to step into the darkness for a little while to get clarity. So, and she's telling me to explain this to you. She's saying, if you just tell him that, he's going to freak out. So explain this to him. Okay, yeah. So basically, she's saying, don't be afraid. So, for example, I was giving a reading earlier to someone where I said to them, you know, maybe you need to back off or let their problems be their own. So that might be something that you would see on a dark side if you focused on a polarity stick, which I don't. But if you did, you might go, oh no, I can't tell someone that I can't help them. That's a bad thing. But by, in this case, the other person I was talking to, telling them that, you know, if you tell them you can't help them, they can then focus on themselves. So that gives them clarity while they're focusing on themselves to see the next thing that they need to do. So that's why this person is saying to me, sometimes you need to go to the dark side to get that clarity. So there is slight encouragement there to go to the dark side, not be scared to go to that darker side. So yeah, I hope that you understand that. She's definitely not saying be evil, be a criminal, or anything like that. She's just saying sometimes, you know, just going to that dark side just a little bit will bring you some clarity. Okay, she's also telling me to acknowledge a party that happened in June of '06. She's saying that Mary or someone with the initials MM was there. So Mary, Maria, Margaret, Melanie, MM is what I'm getting. MM was there at this party with you in June of '06. You, you did something at this party that is being acknowledged by this woman. It's something good. Oh, okay. So apparently no one was talking to her, but she's saying that it wouldn't have appeared to be that obvious because she was acting like she didn't care that no one was talking to her, but you did. And she wants you to know that that actually means a lot to her and it hasn't been forgotten to this day. So, wow, that's pretty profound. She says she never told you how much that meant to her. She never got the chance to, but she'd like you to know that it meant the world to her and that she never forgot it. Okay, they're leaving now, and the man's leaving rather casually. Sort of in very relaxed in a sort of like way, going like "Cheers, man, bye" sort of thing. Where the woman doesn't want to leave, but she is anyway. She's like, "Oh, okay, we gotta go, bye." But yeah, lovely, lovely people. But yeah, so I hope that helps you there, Jody. Now, you want to know about future love or past life? Well, that's certainly the past in your life. It's not a past life, but those two are coming through for you. Let me see what's coming through. Okay. Asking for Jody to see future love or a past life. Someone or something would like to come through. Okay. Well, sorry that took so long. I was trying to work out what all that meant, but now it's all coming to me. Okay, first things first, you have actually walked past this person that you're going to let into your life. So it was focusing on the future love. Now, I don't know if this means future love for a friend or if this means future love as a relationship. That much is not clear. But what is clear is the type of person and the fact that you walk past them many, many, many times. You've just never acknowledged each other. You know, like you do, like you walk down a street and because the person's a stranger and you just don't know them, you don't even recognize that you keep walking past each other all the time. That's what's happening. You guys keep walking past each other all the time. You never stop to say hello, so you're still perfect strangers. But one day something is going to happen, and this person is going to come into your life. I can tell you right away that this person has something to do with emergency or emergency services or something like that. So this person is very highly respected and is either a cop or is works in an ambulance or at a hospital or something like that, something along those lines. Definitely getting emergency something out of all of this. Very, very well respected, but also at the end of the day has a wonderful personality anyway, is very vibrant and has a great quality of life. There's a great aura shining around this person. Um, I'm also being told that sometimes it's good to shake things up. So, for example, if you and this is I'm just throwing an example out there. If you would say to yourself, okay, on Tuesdays I do the dry cleaning, and on Wednesdays I have takeout for dinner, and on Thursdays I go to my mate's house for a sleepover, then maybe go to your mate's house on a Tuesday, do the dry cleaning on the Thursday, something like that. So mix things up a little bit, because obviously what's happening at the moment with the way things are going, you two are both focused on the task at hand so much so that you are passing each other without recognizing it. So the signs are saying mixing things up might actually allow you to collide or notice each other and start that very first interaction. Once this does happen, things are going to be really good. You're going to find that this person is a soulmate of sorts. Now, what do I mean by soulmate of sorts? Let me clarify that for you. What I mean by this is it may be the love of your life romantically, or it may turn out to be a really good friend. But either way, you two were meant to be together somehow, whether it be through friendship or love, or whatever. This person's going to bring a lot to your life as you are going to bring to theirs. And all I can tell you, other than really mixing things up a bit, is that you are definitely going to meet this person, despite that you keep missing each other. And you're going to have a really fun time the first time that you meet, because something's going to happen to finally get you to actually stop and acknowledge one another. But then finally, when you get like months down the track and you start having discussions about things, you're going to realize all those times that you passed each other and just didn't even realize. So, like, for example, so every Tuesday I would go down to this store. So would I. What time? 3 o'clock. Me too. Like, you're going to have conversations like that going, oh my God, we were both there and we didn't even know. So look out for that one. Jodie, I hope you enjoyed your reading. But yeah, this person is definitely going to come along. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. Always constantly be looking to mix things up. Life can get quite monotonous anyway. We certainly get used to crutches when it comes to things, especially if we work 9 to 5, for example. We get used to getting up, going to work, coming home, recovering, going to sleep, going to work the next day, and it just becomes very, very, very monotonous. So in our free time, mix things up and keeping things alive is key to keeping the spirit alive anyway. But in this case, mixing it up is what is going to get you to meet this person, and your life is going to change for the better. Now, I'm not saying that your life is bad at the moment, so please don't think for a second I'm saying to you, you're living a terrible life, and to make your life better, you have to do this. No, what I am saying is that your life is fine at the moment, but your life is going to be even better than it is now once you meet this person. Best way to do it, mix things up. But good luck to you. Let me know when you meet this person, because I'm so excited. I can't wait to have a chat with you guys about, how you are both in the same place at the same time multiple times and just didn't even recognize. I mean, that's going to be such a great conversation. I hope I can be a part of it. All right, Jodie, I hope you enjoyed your reading. My gosh, it's getting much, much later here. All right, so let's get on to the final reading. Okay, you guys, because it's very, very, very late, please keep in mind that if I did not get to you this week, I will try and send the reading to you in a private message, or I will get to you at our next Spiritual Moments chat. I'm going to tell you right now, in case you can't stay any longer, that our next Spiritual Moments chat is going to be on Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I want to keep it to the same day. Last week was Wednesday. We're going to do it again this Wednesday. So come along if you'd like another reading, or if you missed out this week and you want to have the reading live when I'm here on camera, then certainly come along to the chat. Otherwise, private message me and I will get back to you in writing with those details. Okay, Alofa, hello. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay, Alofa, 22nd of the 9th is a Virgo, and a Virgo is an earth sign. I have done a Virgo reading earlier today, so there you go. You have the second Virgo for the day. General and love. No problems. All right, Alofa. Okay. Oh. Okay, Alofa, before we go any further, we're just going to breathe. When I saw that you started off really, really well, I saw this beautiful sunset. And then I saw this sort of eagle-eye view, not seeing an eagle, but seeing the point of view from the eagle itself, hence the term eagle-eye view, of an eagle like flying around in the sunset. It was really, really beautiful. And then the next thing, this feeling of like being caught in a cage and not being able to get out no matter what you're trying to do, you're struggling and you can't get out. I feel like you are trapped at the moment. And this is really not good for you. It's not good for your energy. It's not good for your spirit. I'm so sorry that this is happening to you at the moment. I can't say that I know what you're going through specifically, but I can say that I can relate to feeling trapped, and it's never easy to deal with. What I can say is that there's always a way. There's always a way out. Stay with me, Lofa. Stay with me. Okay. All right. Unlike others that I've given readings for tonight and even last week, Alofa, the advice that I'm being given for you is not to listen to others or reach out to others at all. I'm being told in a, no other way, this is the only way it can be, very firm, language. You need to be the one to get yourself out. The spirits are recognizing the struggle that you're going through, and it is very real and it is very severe and it is not good at all. They're also telling me that people can't help you. Now, I don't know how much you know about the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly, but some people may or may not know this. If you say you feel sorry for the caterpillar, and so you break open the cocoon so that, to help the butterfly become free, what happens is that that's actually a bad thing for the butterfly, because the butterfly gets its strength from its wings by pushing its way out of the cocoon. If you don't believe me, look it up. True story. Where if you break open the cocoon and so the butterfly just comes out naturally, butterfly no longer has the strength of its wings. It's the same thing with you. I'm getting a lot of wings, as you can see, like butterfly, eagle eye, bird being trapped in a cage. I'm getting a lot of wings here. Okay, but like the butterfly, you need to burst yourself out of the cocoon, because if someone helps you, you're going to become reliant on that person to the stage where it makes you weak spiritually, and that's not a good thing. Now, who's to say what is weak and what is strong? And I certainly do not judge anyone whether they're weak or strong physically or mentally. That's not for me to say, but spiritually it's going to make you weak. It's going to make you feel like you have to rely on certain people to get things done, and if you can't rely on them, then life will be over. That type of weakness, that type of helplessness, where you getting yourself out of this situation is going to make you so much stronger. Now, I don't know what the situation is. I'm not going to claim to know what it is, but I do know that you feel very trapped and very stuck. You need to push your way out of the situation. It is doing you more harm than good, but I didn't need to say that because you already know this. But you need to push your way out of the situation. You need to do it as soon as you can. I know it's not easy to hear. And as I say, I was in a situation myself where I felt very trapped and I felt like I had to lean on others, but eventually I pushed myself out of the situation and it made a difference for me. So I'm going to tell you now, it will make the difference for you. You need to do this. And you can. And you have our support as well. I mean, I don't need to be psychic to tell you that you have our support. You have our full support. That's going to make a massive difference to you, for sure. Love cannot come into your life while you're trapped. There's no room for love. But if you are able to push yourself out of this situation, then there will be room. You'll be able to spread your wings and open yourself up to love and all of that. So that ties into this. You're not open to anything. You can't be right now. You're trying, but it's just really not happening. So that's what I'm saying that you need to do. Sometimes we don't do things because we consider the risk factors involved. So we might say, do I, for example, break up with someone and walk out on them when staying with them gives me a roof over my head? Now, there's an extreme example, but it's an example nonetheless. We go through the risk management and say, is it really worth it at this time, or should I wait? Other examples might be, do I talk to my family who are trying to talk to me, but they're always letting me down? But if I don't talk to them, it's going to cause a scandal within the family, and can I deal with that scandal or not? Would it just be easier to pick up the phone and have a discussion with them? We're always weighing up risks, and it's the same with buying things. Should I buy this? Is it going to be great in the short term? Probably, but in the long term, probably not. It has to be the same for you. You have to weigh up the risks. I'm not saying don't, but I am saying that once you do manage to push yourself out of this situation, life is going to change dramatically for you. And the first step is going to be that you are going to be open to love. You're going to feel quite, I struggle to use this term, but it's true. You're going to feel quite immortal once you do this. That will wear off eventually, but you're going to feel really, really fantastic about yourself. But I just want to give you all of the love and all of the strength that I can. You do this and your life will change. But it is your choice to make. No one else can help you. No one can make it for you. If you need to talk to people, certainly do that. But decision time is coming around the corner. And I would say that decision time is coming to the end of the year. Like, for me personally, I like to start the new year off with a fresh, clean slate. So I would say personally to you, give yourself another 2 months, by which time you want to know exactly what you're doing. That would be what I would say personally, but it is up to you. I wish you all the love and luck and hugs in the world. And I wish I could be there right now to physically comfort you. But I feel like you know what you need to do. And I do feel like you are going to do that. Thank you very much for requesting this reading. And it may or may not have been what you wanted to hear, but this is what is coming up for you today. Let me know how things go. And if you would like another reading in the future, certainly let me know. But thank you so much for the request, and I look forward to hearing how things go. For sure. Thank you, Alofa. Alright guys, that is our 9th and final reading. I'm going to come over to the chat room, say a few hellos, and then we're going to wrap this up because this has been one heck of a night. Where was I up to? Okay. Jody said that she was still here. Awesome, Jody. I hope you heard the reading. Leija says, oh my God, I think I may have lived the life of Artemis. She has a twin brother. I have a twin. She is the moon goddess, and my Wiccan deity is the moon on top of my dreams, my elemental magic. I don't believe this could be true. I do believe, sorry, this could be true. There you go, Lady Jazz. It's amazing. You guys, like feeling a bit emotional right now, just all the things that I've learned tonight. I didn't do a protection thing before we started, but what that allows me to do is feel. I'm feeling quite a lot right now. Sarah says, Jazz, that's cool. Jazz says, lol, it's so freaking awesome, but probably not true. Hey, Jazz, it's possible. It's certainly a possibility. Honey Hepburn is here. Hello, Honey Hepburn. Leigh J says, Honey, will you be attending our after show? Cool. And I think that, oh, no, that's not it. Honey says, I'm glad we're a family. We are. That's one of the great things, is that we are here to support each other through the good times and the bad. And there have been some really upbeat, happy readings, and there have been some tougher readings to deal with. But we are here for the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads. We're here to support each other in times of joy and times of need. And the love is absolutely limitless, so I really appreciate that. All right, you guys, you have all been absolutely amazing. So we're just going to take one final break, and then I'll be back to wrap everything up. So stay with us. You are watching Spiritual Moments live readings, live chat with Francois Team, and I'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Don't go away. So beautiful. I don't know if you can hear me over the music, but let's hope that you can. I might leave the music on to end this. I want to say thank you to everyone who has come here tonight, whether it was to have a reading done or even just to listen in. Got through more readings tonight than we did last time. So that is certainly saying something. Whether you have had a positive reading or maybe a not so positive reading, whether there was lots of advice or maybe not so much advice, I hope that you enjoyed the moment and that you were able to receive the information and take on what was there. Sometimes there's not a lot that comes through. But as I like to say, and I do certainly believe this to be the case, just because there isn't a lot that comes through doesn't mean that that information is worthless. In fact, sometimes the less that is said, the more important it actually is. I want to thank everyone who's supporting the Spiritual Moments chat. I've had an emotional roller coaster ride on both times, last time and more so this time. But I will say that this is something that I 1000% believe in, and you guys seem to be getting behind that, which I appreciate more than I could possibly say. While other chats may not continue this channel, I don't see Spiritual Moments ending anytime in the future. So feel free to come along to subsequent chats, and as I say, I'm more than happy to give you one reading per chat, per person. So if you'd like another reading next week, I'm more than happy to give it to you. If you would like to discuss with me anything about your reading in private, I am on Facebook. Feel free to add me and send me a private message. I'm more than happy to discuss this with you behind the scenes. If you would like to talk to me at all, or even just give me feedback, on the situation. If you're happy to do it publicly, please leave it in the comments below so that other people can check it out as well. If not, once again, I do refer to Facebook. I know that some people follow me on Twitter and some people follow me on Instagram, but I am honestly, honest to goodness, hardly ever there. Facebook I'm on every single day. So if you message me on Facebook, you're pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to get the message from. Thank you very much for all the love, the light, the blessings, and just overall the respect that we have for one another. If comment below and let me know has allowed me to do one thing, it is to put out there how important it is to make love and not war. You guys being a part of that is proof that this is a cycle that we can begin that could quite possibly have no end. And I really appreciate that. We have a loving family here, comment below and let me know. And not a day goes by that I don't appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for joining me for this next second Spiritual Moments chat. I look forward to seeing you once again at 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for our third Spiritual Moments chat. If you would like to know what's going on behind the scenes, comment below and let me know. Please go to facebook.com/groups/CBALNK. Next week's chat might begin at 11. But I will update you on there if that's the case. But if you haven't heard anything from me, then it will be at 11:30. But otherwise, a big hug from me to you. I have to say, as someone who has believed in the other side, in spirits, in the supernatural, that life goes beyond what we see in the mundane world. I never thought I would see the day where I could talk to you guys about it, let alone do psychic readings without fear of personal persecution. People have been persecuted for generations for speaking out about any type of magic whatsoever or anything supernatural, whether it be back in the day being killed or put in jail or whatever, or even nowadays, just the way they are treated is absolutely ridiculous. But you guys have welcomed me into your homes, onto your laptops, onto your iPads, onto your phones with a loving embrace, something that I never thought I would ever see happen. It's truly touched me. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you 1,000 times. Until next time, I am Francois T. Make love and not war. And I'll see you Wednesday, 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for our next Spiritual Moments chat. Mwah. Gosh, blessed be. Bye, guys.